All right, so we ask employers to help us out all the time on campus, and we find that they are super responsive and get great advice, just like this panel. But we also want to encourage students to reach out and communicate with employers and hiring managers and recruiters through the process. Can both of you share a little bit about the communication aspect of a candidate when they are considering an opportunity, if questions arise? But what advice do you have about maintaining that communication? Holly.
All right, so obviously we know there's a lot of different ways to communicate these days, whether it's phone, email, text. If there is a way that our candidates feel they can respond quicker, we want to know. So if you're meeting a potential employer about an internship program or maybe something for after college, you can always let them know. I do ask, but if they don't ask, let them know. If you're okay with texting, I'm okay with that, because we want to make sure that we're getting back in touch with you in the most best way that works best for you. Sometimes you're tied up all day and a quick text is easiest. So make sure that communication is out there on what's the best way to reach you. The other thing is, throughout the whole process, if you're not sure and you're worried about reaching out, first of all, don't be worried, because we want to hear from you. But if you are, you can ask, when do I expect to hear back from you? It's okay to ask those questions, because we want to make sure that those expectations are laid out there, and we want to get back to you in a timely manner. So ask, because we don't want you to feel like you're holding on to something and you're waiting. So just ask, when do I expect to hear back from you? And also, the other thing is, if you're going through an interview and after that first interview or first couple steps, whatever it might be, if you do not have any interest and they reach out to you and say, hey, I'm looking forward to getting you into the next step, whatever it might be honest and let them know I'm no longer interested. And even if you scheduled a time and you know that time you're thinking about it, I don't know if I really want to have this interview, just let them know. Everybody's time is very sensitive, and it just looks better. It shows a lot of responsibility for you to say, you know what, I know I committed to this time, but no longer interested, rather than just not showing up. So the term ghosting is a big thing out there right now, and it's something that we prefer not to have happen. So just showing that employer some professionalism is really just that communication. Even if somebody sends you something and says, all right, I'm confirming we're meeting at 2 o'clock, just a quick message back, okay, sounds great. Just something to send back that, yep, you got it and you're on the same page. I don't think there is such an over communication, so do not be afraid to send a message and keep that line of communication open. I can't stress that enough. So that is what I would share when it comes to communication in the process.
To touch upon communication, throughout the opportunity of looking at a job, I would say that the candidates that truly stand out to me the most are the ones that have active communication at each step within the process. So I'll give you a quick example. When a candidate is interested in an opportunity at Baker Tilly and they reach out to me and say, hi Liz, I'm really interested in this opportunity. Would you be open to having a quick call with me to discuss it further? I'm always like, yes, absolutely, would love to talk with you. So that initial impetus of reaching out with a simple email and asking for a phone call will already set you apart from the rest. I also love when candidates will send me a follow-up email after they have applied for said opportunity, just so that we're on the same page. They mentioned that they were interested, and now they're following up and letting me know that they did indeed apply. Moving forward, if this individual were selected for an in-person or phone interview, a quick note of thanks after either the phone or in-person interview goes such a long way. I'm always very impressed when a candidate will send that note either immediately or really any time following that interview, up to 48 hours I would deem as appropriate. The sooner the better. The recency is very important just because it demonstrates to us as a company that you are very eager for this opportunity, and that you really see yourself at Baker Tilly. I also love when candidates really insert some specifics about the conversation that occurred during that interview. Tell them what you liked about the interview, who you enjoyed interacting with, what is one element of the internship or the job opportunity that you're really looking forward to, and draw out those specifics and make yourself known and really stand out as a candidate. I promise that will really go such a long way in your communication, and your potential opportunity to get that job. Last but not least, I would always say in your communication, just 3 quick tips. Always be polite, gracious, and very grateful for the opportunity. That goes such a long way. And the candidates that really stand out in my mind are the ones that are always extremely poised, professional, and polite throughout the process.
Great tips. I really think it's important to talk about that thank you note, and we often have them available in career and professional development. Unfortunately, in this time of distancing, we don't, but you can send a thank you on LinkedIn and certainly an email as you're connecting virtually or moving through those processes. So students, take note, send those thank you notes.